Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Just Two Brothers podcast, where we will be sharing our journey so far and some of the simple tactics we've learned that have helped us become great leaders. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We've got another episode of the Just Two Brothers podcast. This week, we're going to talk about inspiration and the importance of being inspiring as a leader. What's up, Joe?
How's it going, Ryan?
It's going pretty good. It's warmed up a little bit here, so that's been nice. It was way too cold for a minute there. And we got way too much snow. But yeah, it's almost all gone now. A week later, and it's almost all gone. Pretty ridiculous.
I can still see my breath in the studio, so it's too cold here.
Well, yeah, but you also had heater issues, so.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. So what does inspiring mean in leadership? When we say we want to be inspiring, what do we mean? I believe in order to be inspiring, you have to have a belief in a set of principles and a strong belief. And you don't sacrifice those principles. And by not sacrificing those principles, you are radiating those principles, and people around you want to follow suit because of your strong belief in that set of principles.
So you're saying you have such strong core values as a leader that everybody believes in that because of how strongly you believe in your core values.
Correct.
Okay. I agree. I agree with that. You need to have strong core values, something that you believe in that's big enough for you to stand behind and inspires other people to stand behind that same belief as well. It's getting people excited about the work and making it feel you want them to be as excited about doing what you're trying to get done as you are.
Yes, but with inspiration, or to be inspiring, it needs to be effortless.
Correct.
It is who you are to your core, and it's the passion for whatever it is that you believe in. It just bleeds from you, and people can't help but latch on because you are so excited about it.
Correct. I would absolutely agree.
But you have to have that strong set of value in something, that passion, in order to have that passion, to be able to radiate that energy.
Right.
You have to strongly believe in your values in order to be able to be inspiring about it.
Yes.
Because it then at that point, then it's effortless. If you have to try for it, that's when I think it switches into something else.
Well, anything that doesn't seem to come naturally to you you're going to have to try. So it might even seem fake at first, but it needs to look effortless to others. Because you can start from a place of having a bad attitude and just change your attitude. And it's going to be work and it's going to be hard. because you can't just change your core values or your beliefs or what you believe in as a leader. It's not like flipping a switch. If you believed in having a negative attitude and being a negative leader, you can't just change that overnight. So there's going to be an effort into it.
I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying.
You said it needs to be effortless, and I disagree on that.
In order for a leader to be an inspiration, it needs to be effortless. Their passion needs to be effortless. It shouldn't seem forced,
because
I guess that's what I'm saying. When a leader is inspiring, it is effortless because they are so passionate about whatever it is that they're doing. It is effortless. So, and you're saying people might have to try to be inspiring.
I don't think effortless is the right word for what you're trying to get across.
Because I think it's exactly what I have in my head of what I'm trying to describe. I'm just not explaining it well enough, I guess, and I'm not quite sure.
You're just
how to articulate it.
You know when somebody's passionate about something and they truly love something that they say that they love, versus somebody that says that they love something just because they're repeating some bullshit saying that they've been told to say.
Right, and that leader will not be inspiring ever. But the leader who it's effortless, who you can tell they just love what they're doing, it's effortless. They make it look easy. It is effortless at that point. If you that strongly believe in something, it will be effortless for you. You see what I'm saying? You won't have to try because you're going to be that excited about it. No matter what bullshit task you've got to do, you know what the end result is that you're working towards. So at that point, yeah, it's going to be a force like, fuck, I've got to go do this, but you know what the end goal is you're working towards, so you're still going to be passionate about the end goal you're achieving. And you know you're going to have to go through dark times like you're saying in order to get there. But you're still passionate at your core. And that passion, it's just effortless. It flows out of you. And that excites people around you and gets you through those dark times. Because you're just, fuck, I can get behind that guy.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from with that. So
I know what you're trying to get at, but I'm unwavering. I'm not moving from my effortless because I truly believe that's what it is.
I understand. Now I understand where you're coming from, because early last year, it might have been before we were talking about doing the podcast, but we might not have started it yet. There was a project that we had to do, and I told them I needed 2 weeks. They gave me a week to get it done. And by the end of the week, they said, do what you have to do to get it done, and we'll have to figure it out from there. And I worked 27 hours through the night, through all shifts. The next morning, people came in, saw me still there, still got it done, walked away feeling as confident as I could in everything that I put towards it to say it can do what it needed to do. And when I was asked why the hell I did it, it's because I was told I needed to get it done. I take pride in saying that I can get things done, and it didn't take anything from me to put that effort in to stick around, put the time in, and make sure the job got done.
Right.
Because that's where I understand
that switch just flipped in your brain and you went, I got to do it.
Do.
Right.
And it's not, there's no question about it. I'm just going to do it. And when people look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? It's like, because this is what I believe in. This is what I have to do.
Yep, exactly.
So I can get
And
behind that.
that perfectly describes what I'm getting at.
You know, the funny thing about that too is there were people at that company that noticed, and they had asked me, like, did you even go home last night? I said, no, I had to get the job done. I stayed, I did what I needed to do, and now I'm gone, and we'll deal with it later. It was about 2 months ago. I had to go back and make some other changes, add another part to that work cell. And I wasn't there for maybe 6-7 hours. I went home at 5 o'clock, and the next morning I went to the shop, got a text from the customer asking me how late I stayed that night. I said, I left at 5 o'clock when I texted you and said I was going to leave. He said, oh, well, it hasn't stopped running, and we had all the maintenance guys said that you stayed overnight and you supported us the entire time. Like, well, damn, I guess I left an impression that people just assume that I'm going to stick around that whole time now. But no, I can understand where you're coming from now with it being effortless. But leading up to building that much passion towards something doesn't come effortless. It takes time to build that passion towards something, but
right. And yeah, in being an inspiring leader isn't something by us talking about can you really teach. We have some things that you can do to help you be inspiring, but if you'll notice as we talk about them, it's not really a concrete thing. Nothing that we're going to talk about is concrete. You can't physically go, oh, I don't even freaking know.
There's just small steps that you can take, and everything together is what comprises, or is what an inspirational leader is comprised of.
Yeah,
as
pretty
opposed
much.
to this trait is exactly what makes him inspiring. No, it's this whole collection of traits and examples that you set that all together make you inspiring as a leader. So it's not something that you might not have it right off the bat, and it's going to take time, but you have to find ways to, we're going to give you ways to work towards it.
Exactly.
So this, what we're going to talk about is the effort that it takes to be inspiring. And all of this together will fill you with the passion that it takes to create an effortless example.
Yeah. I think you laid that out nicely. So did we answer the question, what does inspiring mean in leadership?
Yes, I think we did.
The exact words I have written down are a leader who knows what their principles are, believes in them, and does not sacrifice them.
Yeah, I agree. Why is it important to be inspirational as a leader?
You effortlessly empower and motivate your team. They want to follow you.
Yeah. It's
and you don't even have to try. You just are you, and people want to follow you.
Yeah, it's if you go back a couple episodes, what episode was that I talked about the noodle theory?
Ooh. Time management?
Quick.
Nope. That was the... Man, I don't even remember.
Team leader. What is a team leader?
Okay, yep.
So, episode 27. Episode 27 was an episode where I talked about being a team leader, and we went over the noodle theory, which is basically you can't push a wet noodle, but you can pull it. So a leader needs to be able to expect that everybody will follow based on their example, and that's why I think it's exactly what you're saying. Why it's important to be inspirational is because everybody will follow you no matter where you're going, just because you are you.
Exactly.
And you're leading from the front. You're showing them, you're setting the
Hey,
example of how to
this is
be.
the way.
Right.
Come follow
Trust me.
Yep.
Come with me. Work with me. I will make sure everything gets taken care of.
Yep.
We will do this together.
Yep. And that is an important part. They know you have their back.
Yes. Yep. I'm in it
you're a
with
team.
you.
Exactly.
Yep. You're not in this alone. I'm in it with you. We're all in it together, and we're going to get this done together. So how do you inspire others? How do you inspire others?
I think we've mentioned it a couple times already. Number one is passion. You have to have a passion for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A common phrase is, if you love what you do, you'd never work a day in your life. You have to find that for you in order to be an inspirational leader.
And now I want to put a big asterisk on that. You're not necessarily always going to land in something that you're passionate about right off the bat, but you can find a way to be passionate about any situation that you're in. So you can, something might be the absolute wrong fit for you, and that's okay but you're just not going to be passionate about it. You can't find a way to be passionate about it, but you're not going to be leading anybody in that passion. But you can be in a situation where you're like, this is all right. But if you find a way to be passionate and excited about what it is that you're doing, that will carry on and build over time.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't sold on wanting to build machines and program machines my entire life, but I've learned to absolutely love what I do. So it's not something that you're not always going to be passionate about everything right off the bat, but you can find ways to be passionate about it. And build that passion.
I'm sure part of that also is learning the job, and as you learn and get better, things get easier and you start putting pieces together. But that's what we were just talking about with you got to go through the dark times in order to get to this point. So, and that's part of it. That's part of it with everybody.
Right.
You're not just going to get there overnight. You've got to go through the darkness in order to see the light, and that's what shapes you as a good leader. You've been there, done that. I think that is
right.
Critical to being a good leader is you had to have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Some way, shape, or form, you had to have worked your way up in order to be a good leader.
Yeah, because if you get
and you
nobody
can't forget
can just
where you
get
came
thrown
from
into a leadership role without having any experience of what the hell any of it is to be led by somebody. You can't be a leader if you've never been led.
Yeah.
You can be thrown into a situation, but you're not going to be an effective leader without ever having any example of how leading even happens.
I wouldn't necessarily say that about leadership, but if somebody goes to college and gets a degree in I don't know, business administration
Business
or whatever,
management?
business management, that doesn't make them a good leader. They can't then go
No.
get a leadership position of whatever type and be a good leader just by getting a degree. They had to have dealt with the bullshit of everyday life in order going through the paces to get to that upper role. If it's just handed
Right.
to you and you skipped over whatever other bullshit jobs there are to get there, you are never going to be a good leader because you don't know what those people are going through. You have to be
Absolutely.
able to relate in order to be a good leader.
Yeah.
And some people can probably do it without having direct experience with it, but it's not easy.
Right.
Because you've never had to feel their pain.
No, so you can't understand why they're frustrated about anything or why they don't
Right,
understand why the company's making certain decisions.
right.
Well, if you don't understand why they're frustrated and you don't care to see that they're frustrated just because it's like, well, this is how management works, just gonna go
Right.
downhill.
So, yeah, to your point, I don't think you necessarily have to see a good leader because as you go through the ranks, you could possibly see enough bad leaders that you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
100%.
And you could pick up enough good traits by watching what not to do and be a good leader. But you had to have gone through
absolutely.
the ranks in order to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think you necessarily need to be or have a good leader at any point, but I do think you have to go through the ranks. And yeah, you're going to probably see plenty of shit leaders and go, yep, I'm not doing that, not doing that, not going to do that.
Right. And I didn't mean you have to have a good leader to be a good leader, but you have
Okay.
to have experience with having been led in order to know how to lead.
Okay, yes.
So to your point, yeah, absolutely. You're going to learn how you want to be as a leader from experience with bad leaders.
Yep.
100%. You'll probably learn a lot more from bad leaders than you will good
Yep.
leaders, because you sure as fuck will not appreciate a good leader right off the bat unless you've had some terrible fucking leaders. Because I've thought I've had great leadership until I realized what great leadership actually is. Like,
Yep.
oh shit, they were terrible people, and I thought they were doing an awesome job just because it seemed effective.
Right.
And I'm willing to buy into things. If you believe in something and you tell me that this is what I need to believe into, I'm going to believe in that. From a work standpoint. Like, if this is our purpose, this is what the company stands behind, that's what I'm going to buy into. So if my leader's a shitty leader, but they're effective and they got me to buy into it, then that's what I was going to take,
Yep.
Even if it was a shitty example. But yeah, I agree. You need to have experience and work your way up through the ranks. I think it's beneficial.
How did we get there from talking about passion? I don't even know how we got sidetracked.
Because you said it helps if you've worked your way up through the ranks.
Oh, yep. What would be another one?
I would have to say maintaining a positive attitude. And you can inspire others to do that regardless of whether you are in a leadership position or not.
Yep.
I will say that's something I know I brought to my department at work and helped bring it to the department. Over the last couple of years, we had some people quit. There was some just bad attitudes in our department, and we lost several people. It then ended up just being myself and my manager for a couple months. And even with both of us dealing with all of the controls issues and all that fun stuff, I just came in every day with a good attitude and said we'd get it done and we'd figure it out, regardless of whether or not we had the help or we hired people. And it was brought to my attention that me coming in with a good attitude made it easier to manage because I just made things easy for everybody. Because I approached things happy about it, like, yeah, that's fine, we'll figure it out. Instead of getting upset or having a meltdown or worked up over changes in a schedule or things happening, you know?
Yeah.
So it's maintaining a positive attitude will inspire everybody around you. Don't be
every time.
Don't be too bubbly to the point where you can be way too, it can be too much. So obviously gauge it. And there's a time and place for certain over the top behavior, I guess, but try to be happy. Make people laugh, have fun in the work environment within reason, so you're not going to get in trouble with HR or whatever, but
right.
I work in a tool shop, so we get away with a lot.
Yep.
That's a big one for me, though. Maintain a positive attitude.
Yep. I like it. How about one we just talked about the last 2 weeks? Being an active listener.
That's a huge one. Just showing people you care about them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to expand too much on it because we've just spent 2 weeks talking about it. If people want to hear more, they can go back and listen to the last couple. But yeah, active listening is huge. Like we said, and Joe was just saying, it shows people you care. There's kind of an ongoing theme with being inspiring. Love and passion and care and respect, and yeah, there's a lot of people traits.
A little bit of empathy goes a long way.
Yeah, building relationships. It's all about building relationships.
In listening, in active listening and making other people feel heard, you're going to build a stronger team in that. So you're going to make everybody feel like they're part of a team that actually gives a shit about them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that will also add to just what you bring to the team and how you inspire everybody.
Yep, just another dynamic.
Yes, showing that every single person there is a valuable part of that team, and they have some valuable input, and they're not just some idiot that's off to the side when everybody else has a better say or something like that.
Yeah, listening to their feedback
is valued.
Actually utilizing their feedback is important to building that and including everyone. I don't want to say
make
inclusive.
Them feel like they're...
I was going to write inclusive down, but I don't necessarily like that right now. Anyways, yeah, you just want to include everybody.
Correct.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if you had a thought.
No.
I think setting big goals is important also. Having big expectations. Or aiming high, I guess.
I agree, and I want to add both short-term and long-term.
Yes.
Have short-term goals of, I want to kill it with our numbers today. This week I want to make the most progress we've made this week on this job, or our production numbers up higher than everybody else this week, and for the whole year, for the next 5 years. But 5 years from now, I want to be supervising. I want to be a supervisor or a team leader. big goals, bigger than where you're at.
Right. Don't just make it about work, though. Include your personal life, too, and your
Oh,
personal goals, and
100%.
share those, and watch how much that goes into building relationships and inspiring people, because they're going to be like, oh, man, I can't believe that. Yeah, I could do that, too.
Well, and another part of bringing in your personal life to it, too, is people see that you're actually a human being, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that I've heard several people tell me in the past that if you're going to manage or lead, or you're going to be a big part of a company or anything like that, your passion and everything that you do is 100% about that company. And I don't think that has to be that way. You still need to maintain time for yourself and still have things outside of what you're building on a daily basis.
I think it's critical to avoiding burnout. You're going to kill yourself if you... some people are just wired like that, and they'll throw themselves at work, and there's nothing anybody's going to do about it. But I think it's important.
And I've done it for years too, throw myself at work, but you build what you have to do at the time of doing it. You do what you have to do sometimes, but it's very important to still maintain some sort of hobby. And it, like I said, it shows people that you have passions, you have other things outside of work. You can still do everything that you're doing and bust your ass and work towards a goal or work towards whatever at work and still have a life outside of that.
Yep.
And it shows people, everybody else, like, it might even click with some people, like, holy shit, maybe I'm lazier than I thought. Because they do all this and more, and they still manage to get more shit in. Like, how the hell do you have time for that? And it can be a...
inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
it's perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And to wrap up how to inspire others, or ways you can begin to set yourself on a path to being able to inspire others. For the last one, we've got celebrate the wins. No matter how small, celebrate the wins with your team. Celebrate them.
Yes, celebrate them. It doesn't always have to be about the wins, because you can have a shitty day that everything went to hell and you still made it through the day. Walk away from that day letting everybody, hey, great job today.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Thanks for your efforts. Hey, I know it was a tough one today. I'm glad we got
Acknowledge the shittiness and celebrate that they made it through the shittiness. That's a win. You might have to dig for wins sometimes, and that's okay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, everything went to shit today. We didn't have any positive things, but we still made it through. Or even if you can find something to laugh about, I was just
going to say, man, at least this and this and this happened, but do you remember when this happened? Man, that was funny, or whatever. You can find something that's a win.
We wouldn't have had to go pick up all those bolts if it wasn't for Joe over there dumping the entire bin.
Yep.
Thank God we had more work to do, because we were almost running out.
Yeah. And you can... Oh, I just had a word and I lost it. Carry on. Totally lost that thought just now.
I think that all helps towards maintaining that positive attitude as well.
Oh, for sure.
It helps prevent burnout. Just a little acknowledgement saying, hey, thanks for busting your ass lately. Hey, nice work today. Hey, we got through some shit. And hey, glad that worked out.
If you do it together with more than one person too, it's somewhat of a team building or a team bonding moment, because you can get through the adversity, fight through that adversity together, and come out ahead. And that helps build those relationships and cultivate that resiliency you're looking for.
And if everything goes to shit and everybody has a terrible day, you're just trauma bonding. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that really does. If you can stay positive through the shit, that builds a strong team.
Which is 100% why the military beats everyone down, and why boot camp is so difficult. And
Yep.
why I still have friendships with people that I talk to them once or twice a year and can pick back up where we left off, and I haven't seen them more than 3 times in 12 years. But when you've gone through some shit with people, there's unbreakable bonds that can't be replaced, can't be beat.
Yeah, you see what you're made of, you see what they're made of, and if you come out of it, you've had each other's backs, and yeah, it goes a long way to building that strong team you're looking for.
Yep, I absolutely agree.
Got anything else to
celebrate the day. Celebrate any little win.
We got anything else to add to that? Or should we move on to more?
I don't believe so. Let's keep moving.
All right, next we've got, how do great leaders inspire action?
I'm going to have to say by clearly communicating what needs to be done and selling people on the why and the reason for why we do it. And if you truly believe in why you need to do what needs to be done, you're going to get everybody on board. Everybody will follow you because you believe in it and you know what needs to be done and they know what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote down show and communicate your passion.
Yeah, and if you believe in what you're working towards and you say this is what our goal is and I can see it, they're going to see it. I can see that this is going to be the best week, the best month, the best year that we've had. I believe in it. I know it's going to be. Everybody's going to follow in suit and believe it and make sure it happens because they saw it too.
Yeah.
You have anything else for that one?
No, I think we wrapped it up nicely.
Yeah.
How do you inspire a team?
Biggest thing is communicate. Make sure everybody is aware of what needs to be done. That's a big one. Because if you leave some people in the just kind of in the mud, just not having a clue, they're not going to want to do anything because they don't know what the hell to do. And then you have some people that know what needs to be done, so they're motivated. And then they see other people that aren't motivated. You need to communicate to everyone and make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, whatever it is you're doing, yep. Communicate clearly.
Whether it's the goal or changes or what you're working towards that day, whatever. Make sure everybody is...
Or just, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Communicate.
Make sure everybody hears it. Everybody sees it. Everybody, though. When it comes to a team, you have to make sure everybody feels like they're part of the team. Don't pick and choose. You can't pick favorites.
Yeah, I think another important thing is to share your vision and setting clear goals. And that's something we've talked about. I can't even think of what episode, but I know we've talked about these exact things before.
Well, we mentioned that earlier. I mean, what are you passionate about? Why are you passionate about?
Yeah,
What are you working towards?
What do you see that makes you so passionate about it?
Right. And what are your goals as far as the team goes? Do I want to be the most effective, efficient team in this company? I want to make sure we're gonna knock out this goal, and this goal, and we're gonna show everybody that we're the best.
And I was
If
just
that's
gonna
your
say,
goal,
the goal I communicate to my team whenever I have a team is I want to be the best.
yeah,
I don't know what it is, whatever job I'm at, whatever I'm doing, I want to be the best. It's cut and dry and easy for me.
no, for
I
sure.
want to be the best. And I say it loudly. I don't like people being in my way. Don't stop me from trying to be the best. I want to be the best.
Yeah, and don't get in my way. And the second you tell me I can't be the best, or I'm not the best, or I'm not going to be the best, I'm gonna now I gotta prove it.
You better
to
watch out.
Now you just made a mistake.
Yep, that's motivation.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same way. When people ask me what I want to do, where I'm at right now, we build machines. I want to be the best machine build company in Michigan. I want everybody to know our name and everybody to know that we build the best quality, best working, most efficient machines, and we have great attitudes. That's my goal. That's what what I bought into, and that's what I'm trying to sell. And seems to work for people. And if that doesn't work, I want to make sure we all get big bonuses at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that sells everybody else.
Yep. No, that's a great one.
The more money we can make, the more money we can save, the more money that all goes into our pockets. So
that's an easy motivator for a lot of people.
Yep. Especially when you're like me and I'm a whore for money. So
careful.
Hey,
we don't need
$20 is $20.
We don't need any emails. No fan mail, please, for that. Joe's not for sale.
OnlyFans link is in the description.
That's what I was waiting for. Oh,
Joe Daddy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, nope, I can't. We got to move on because I'm starting to envision things, and I don't want that. Another one. Encourage teamwork. Encourage teamwork. We'll keep this rolling. And I don't know if this is really going to get us away from the topic.
No, because I need somebody to hold the camera.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that backfired on me.
Oh, man.
How do we get this back on track? Here we go. Maintain a healthy environment.
I want to go back to encouraging teamwork.
Okay, now that we got to keep this healthy, Joe. It's a very unhealthy place you're going.
This is actually perfect because I've been working on some projects lately. We have in the last year and a half, we've acquired some new personnel in our shop, and there are personality differences. There are people that don't want to work together. There are people that don't want to work with other people but want to work with some people, and some people that get upset when they can't work with other people. And maintaining that and getting people to work together as a team can be tricky, but it is very important, because the second you start getting cliques and groups and teams inside of a team that are not working together, you're set up for failure.
Yeah, you're always going to have smaller groups or smaller teams amongst a larger team,
Right.
but don't let them get hostile with each other.
Well, and from for in my example, we have a controls group that has 5 programmers in it. We have a couple electrical guys, and then we have other groups in our company like mechanical machine builders, machinists, whatever. We have individuals in one department that don't want to work with each other in that department. We also have individuals in one department that don't want to work with others in a different department, but everybody still has to work together because it all comes together overall. So it's fun getting to manage the here's why you need to just get along with this person and work together with them, and how you can work together with them without you being the bad guy in anything going negative, but you can't be the antagonist in this situation. Don't work against people, work with them. And if they're setting it up for failure, allow them to set it up for failure and fail. But encouraging people to put forth an effort to working as a team and not trying to sabotage the team is, I guess, what I'm getting at.
Okay. Yep.
Because sabotage can happen inside teams and from team to team. Like,
absolutely,
people in one team can sabotage others when you should all be working towards the same positive goal. But they're trying to set others for failure so they can prove something to somebody else. So you want to squash that and find a way to sell people on reasons why they should not do that.
Yeah, and if they don't, then they don't need to be on your team.
Correct, because they're not willing to operate as a team. They're still on an individual basis.
Right. Yeah, keep them from getting hostile with each other, and like you said, sabotaging to get whatever.
Oh, it's so exhausting.
Yeah, but I do think it's important for those small groups to exist, because you gravitate towards people you're super similar to, you know? And not everybody is alike. So I think it's important to have those little groups or little cliques, just, as long as they're not destructive.
It's okay to have them, as long as you can work towards fixing them, because they can become poisonous situations or turn into a poisonous situation where it just creates toxicity everywhere.
If it's that tight, if it's that group of kind of a group of people though, but otherwise you're just going to get like tight people hanging out a little more, and that's okay. Or if you have a minute of downtime. You're talking
as far as like clicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And even you might start to get your negative. You might start to get your negative cliques together. People that just start bitching about things. But as a leader, you need to go break those up. And if you have the right culture and the right team around you, that will dissipate anyways, because they'll all help kibosh it.
Yeah, and that rolls into our next point, which you were saying earlier, which is a healthy office environment.
Yeah.
It's all work together as a team, but when people are being negative, bad attitudes, or they're, like we said, trying to sabotage, you have to squash that. You have to recognize it and make sure you don't allow that kind of behavior.
Exactly. And squash it in whatever way is necessary. If you've had repeated conversations with a team member and they continue to do whatever, they don't need to be part of your team. It's as simple as that. Not everybody is going to fit into the system or the culture that we're trying to cultivate. Some people just aren't built for it. They can't hang. And that's okay. They can go find another team where they fit in better.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't need it here, though.
Exactly.
And we're not going to allow it, because if we allow it, then everybody's going to start doing it. That's not what we believe in.
No, and if you get one bad apple, it's a cancer. It can turn into a cancer very easily. Bad, or attitudes, negative energy. It's a cancer.
And as somebody that has worked for people who claimed certain core values or beliefs or not allowing certain behavior and that have allowed behavior like that or kept people around for too long and just saying, well, we knew about it, but it wasn't bad enough, that causes others around you that should be looking at you for inspiration to doubt your core beliefs. You said you believed in not tolerating this sort of behavior or working hard or this or that, and you allow this one person to get away with it, and everybody's told you, and you're justifying it in whatever manner you can, but now I no longer believe in what you've told me because you're showing me that you don't.
Yeah, you've broken trust almost.
Correct. So if you believe in something and you have somebody that's not aligning with your goals and your beliefs, you have to get them on board with your beliefs or get them out of there, because nobody's going to believe you if you have any give to the ground you stand on.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Got to make sure to give positive feedback, potentially reward your team. I prefer to keep those to a minimum. I like to keep the rewards verbal. You start to set a bad precedent if you reward too often. Now, there are times I like to go out and do stuff, but try to limit them so you don't get yourself in a bad situation. People start to expect things, and you don't want that either.
Yep. Yeah, because if you reward every positive thing that they do, and then one day you don't, people are going, I guess we didn't do a good enough job now. And they might try harder and harder, but eventually they're going to just give up. Like, well, I guess we're not getting rewarded for that anymore, so why should we even keep doing it?
Yep. Or if you, shit can get expensive. At some point, you can't just keep giving away more. What, your pay isn't enough? That's what I struggle with. You are here doing a job. I'm asking you to do your job. You shouldn't get more than what you're already getting paid.
Oh, 100%.
So that's where I struggle with too many incentives. I don't like incentives a whole lot because it gets the wrong mindset going.
For sure. Well, and like I just said, bonuses are nice because it's like, hey, that's not something that I was expecting. That's pay on top of pay that I never had to get. But to play devil's advocate of that, people get pissed off if it's not enough of a bonus for them. It's like, okay, I understand that, and I understand being frustrated to a point, but you're getting upset about something that wasn't owed to you to begin with. It's a bonus.
Yeah, are you kidding?
It's extra.
How ungrateful are you?
If you give me $5 or $5,000, I'm going to be happy.
Right.
Sure, I might laugh if you tell me here's $5 and that's your bonus for busting your ass. Like, you could just...
Yeah, here, keep it. You obviously need it more than I do.
Exactly. Save yourself the $5 and don't waste either of our time.
Right.
Because you're just embarrassing yourself. But if you're trying, like, hey, this is all the profit we made, here's what I'm going to give you, and you genuinely mean it, I'm going to take that $5 and damn be proud of it.
Right.
But it all depends on where it's coming from. If you say we had the best year that we ever had and everybody gets a shit bonus, you're showing people that you don't care about them that much.
I agree. I think it's also important to provide opportunities for development for your team.
Yeah,
Give them the chance to grow.
100. You stole the words right out of my mouth. Give them the chance to grow. Give them a chance to challenge themselves and
Empower them.
yeah, try new things. And we talked about that. We had an episode about empowerment, didn't we?
Yes.
Or, yeah. That was one of the early episodes, right?
It's one of our pillars.
That's right.
It's our foundation. It's part of our foundation.
It's been a minute since we've went over those.
Oh, I know. But yeah, it's a basis for what we are all about.
Yeah, you have to give them opportunity to grow.
Without
and let
it,
people
what are
know
you
that
doing?
let people know that there's room for them to grow. Because not everybody wants to grow.
And
Don't
maybe
force
it's not
people to
with
grow
you
that
and
don't
your
wanna
team.
grow.
Maybe it's not
Right.
with you and your team, but encourage that growth.
And the best part of encouraging growth outside of your team is if you've set a good enough example, if you've done your job well enough as a leader, that will come full circle around and benefit you long term.
In some way, shape, or form, yeah.
You're going to teach somebody something. They're going to end up leaving your group, go to a different job, a different company, a different department, and eventually you're going to come full circle and you're going to meet them again. And everything that you worked with them on, all the positive examples that you set, that positive impact, that positive experience that you gave them will pay off in exponentially long term. Give people opportunities. Let them grow.
Yeah, the
even if
universe
it's not
will
with
repay you, for sure.
It's a small fucking world, man.
It's crazy sometimes.
There's people everywhere that I've met from different states that I somehow still end up seeing them or having people that I know that know them, and I have no clue how it even wraps around, but everybody knows somebody.
Yep.
And everybody will come around and eventually be back in your life again.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you give people opportunities and don't hold them back, because people are going to remember that.
Yeah, even you may not bump into it, but somebody else will. And like I'm thinking about the Marine buddy of yours that you ran into that I used to work with, and that interaction you guys had. Just things like that.
Well, and for future business opportunities as well. If you gave somebody a recommendation or got them a foot in the door at some other company, and then, hey, 10 years down the road, you're applying for a job, you just so happen to apply at a company that person is now working at, and they go and ask, like, hey, looking at hiring some guy, and I don't know, some Mapes guy. Like, I used to work with a guy who is it? That guy was the best person I've ever worked with. That'd be a great improvement, a great addition to our team. Or
Right.
He was an asshole. I don't think you want him here. He's just not. He left a bad taste in my mouth, for lack of a better term. Like, it just, no good experiences with that person. It'll come back.
Right, yeah. I didn't like him. I don't want him on my team or whatever it is.
Yep. He held everybody around him back, wouldn't give me opportunities when people needed it, or when I needed it, or when I deserved it. I ended up having to leave companies because of him. And nobody's going to hire that person.
Right. Do we want to recap this real quick? And then I've got something I want to play for you to kind of end this little section here. So we've got share your vision and set clear goals, communicate with your team, encourage teamwork, maintain a healthy environment, give positive feedback, and provide opportunities for development or empower your team. Sound good, Joe?
Sounds great.
Okay. I want to
Nice
end
recap.
the how do you inspire your team with a little video clip. And I know I've talked about it a little bit before, but I'm a Lions fan. We are from Michigan, and this has been an amazing year so far. But specifically, I am a giant Dan Campbell fan. I don't know if anybody listening watches football, watches the Lions, knows what I am talking about at all. But he is exactly the type of leader that we talk about each and every day. So I've got a clip from the last locker room celebration after they just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last weekend. And I want you to listen to the words he says. I think he hits every single point that we just talked about. And it's amazing. So here, I'm going to play it.
Okay.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, we talked about it all year. This started a long time ago. You're built for this. You're built for this, man. And look what you guys did. You went out there, and it's another hot team that we knocked off. It's the next hot team that you knock off. You know how hard it is to win in this league in the playoffs? Do you understand what you're doing right now? What we're capable of? That's two. All right? That's two. We got two to go. With a bye in the middle. I'm unbelievably proud of everybody in here, man. Coaches, players. That's the way to mount up, man. That's a difficult team to beat, man. All right, I got one game ball. Man, in the game, we can play. Derek Ball.
All right, so this going to get a little clunky here for a minute. Joe wasn't aware that I had a clip to play, and for everybody listening, we are doing this over the phone instead of in person right now, so he wasn't able to hear that audio, so this is going to be a little bit different than I was expecting. For those listening right now that can heard that in real time, if you listened to the words he said, he truly believes in each and every person inside that locker room. He flat out told them, you're built for this. You're built for this. We've gone through all kinds of shit. You guys were each hand selected to be here, to be a part of what we're doing. And then he looks at all of them and says, do you realize what you're doing right now? Not we. He's talking to all of them. Do you realize what you guys are doing right now? How rare this is basically what he's saying. Not that many people get to make it as far as you guys are all making it right now. And then he tells everyone, take a minute, take it all in. Doesn't say that exactly, but that's what he's hinting at. Take all of this in. Enjoy this. You guys are doing crazy things right now. Look at how great you guys are. And then he goes on to talk about how, hey, we've got more work to be done. Right on to almost empowering them to, hey, look, job's not done. We still got our heart set on this end goal. And he talks about that end goal. It's just that perfectly touches on everything we just talked about. Really wish you could have heard that, Joe, so we could have more of a discussion about it, but
send me the link. I'll go back over and I'll listen to it.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
I heard, I could overhear little bits of it, and from the enthusiasm and the passion in his voice and what he was saying, it reminded me of some speeches I've heard in the military, and I'm actually going to send you a link for one of them. But
okay, yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
And that's exactly what it is. He's not being fake. You can tell he's not just putting on a show. And you can tell the love and the passion he has for what he's doing. And the love he has for his team. You can see it all in what he's saying and how he's reacting. And it's just amazing to watch. I'm so happy that I get to be a fan of this team because of him. It is.
Hell yeah.
It's amazing to watch. It really is. And it's exactly what we talk about. I think we're going to end it there for now. Not the end of the conversation completely, but we are going to give you guys an opportunity to join in on the conversation with us. We talked about it the last time. We released a few questions, got some responses, and so we're going to do it again. We did get post-episode feedback that, oh man, I missed those questions. I really wanted to answer them. So I am going to be getting those out this week to give everybody, this week meaning 6 days ahead of when you guys are listening to this, to give you guys a better chance to answer them. So hopefully you guys will have week and a half to get a chance to answer them before we record again. So I'll be getting those out in the next day. Watch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It'll be released on all of them. Facebook, Instagram, we are at Just Two Brothers. On Twitter, we are J2B Podcast. Joe, you got anything to add?
Actually, yeah, one thing. The polar plunge, if you have not signed up for it, I got signed up for it this week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and yeah, we hope to see you there.
Got links in our story on Instagram and Facebook. It's also pinned to our profile in Instagram with a link to either join the team if you're local to the West Michigan area, or you can just donate. We've set a goal of $500. We would love to reach that and help support Special Olympics. So, yeah, anything you guys can do is amazing. Should we wrap her up there, Joe?
Sounds great to me. We appreciate you guys listening.
Have a great week. Talk to y'all later.